This video will show you how to use some of our reusable parts to kind of pretty up a page and make it consistent with other pages on the site. Now here we have a page that's underneath the First Day School page, and what we want to do is to use a page title um, block. This will be standard to use on all our pages. Every page should have a page title block at the top, and optionally it can have a breadcrumb menu above that. So we're going to change this page to use those things. So I'm going to put it in edit mode. And first of all, I'm going to go in and delete this title here because we're going to, I'm just going to copy it into my clipboard. Oops. I need to do it another way. Let's see. Sometimes we have to actually make these things work right. We can go into the source code. You see there's the H1 title at the top, but we'll just delete that or copy it. So I don't lose it, I'm going to save it over here in my text editor and take the H1 tags off. We'll use that later. Now let's start by putting the breadcrumb menu in. The way we do that is to press the plus sign, and instead of blocks we're going to go to this drop down and choose stacks. Now don't get confused if you pop this up and it has a stack menu on it, but you really want the blocks, you can go back the same way you came. Blocks, stacks. Okay, we have two stacks that use a that put the breadcrumbs on there. One is breadcrumb page header, which puts both the page title and the breadcrumbs in. That's nice. But only use it if you don't intend to change the page title, because with this little stack, well, with any stack, you can't change them. You can just drop them in. So since in this case we want to change the title, instead we're just going to use this breadcrumb menu. A little tip, you got to hover over this little icon, see it change to a hand before you can drag and drop it. And we'll put that right up at the top. And there it is, all ready to go. Very nice. Now let's add our, and go back to blocks and look for our page title. And we'll put that right underneath the breadcrumb menu. So we're going to override the page name with a custom title. So that's where we put resources on child safety and prevention and blah, blah, blah. Okay, we'll add that. Okay, so it looks pretty nice, but notice all this white space in between. Here's how we get rid of that. We click the page title, go to Design and Custom Template, click this little gear icon here, and then under Custom Class, let's see, we're going to put in page title below breadcrumb. So it's a little quirk with this. I press tab to go to the next field to make sure that these things take correctly. There's a little bug that sometimes they don't unless you go to another field. So this is just a CSS class that that takes off the extra white space uh, above the page title. And now, if you use the what's it called? Got a little confused there. If you use breadcrumb page editor, you don't have to do that business of adding the page title and putting in the CSS class, but only do that if you intend the page title to be the same as the page name. Okay. Now, a couple of other tips. Please try to avoid pasting formatted text directly from something like Word. If you're copying a page from the old site, you can go to the plain text view and copy the HTML. If you have a Word document or something like that, what you can do is, let's see, give an example here. This is just some random stuff here. I'm going to go to Word and copy the stuff out. And then bring up, let's see, we'll use Notepad because that's on all PC computers. And we'll paste that in, and you can see that it changes to plain text, and we can just copy and paste that into the content block. It'll take some extra work if it's got some links and special formatting, but the reason for this is if you dump directly from the Word document, it'll carry over the formatting from the Word document. And this may be inconsistent with our formatting on the site. So it's a little extra work, but if you don't mind, I'd really like you to do it that way. Okay. So just as a reminder, for any page, always put a page title block. And if it makes sense, put on a breadcrumb menu as well. If you have a side menu on the right-hand side, you may want to use the what do I call it? The menu collections page type. There's a separate video on that. So that's all for this one. Thanks.